Amidst the world's many observances, there are some that invite us to pause, reflect, and look inward. These moments are not about grand festivities or public fanfare, but about connecting with the deeper values that shape our humanity. The International Day of the Unborn Child stands apart as one such observance. Quiet, contemplative, and profoundly meaningful. Marked each year on March 25th, it is a day that calls us to remember the silent beginnings of life and to honor the dignity of every human being from the very first moment of existence. Unlike many holidays that fill our calendars, this day is not about noise or spectacle. Instead, it invites us to reflect on the miracle of life as it unfolds in the hidden places, within the womb, where hope and possibility quietly take root. Each March 25th, we're reminded that life's journey begins long before birth, deserving dignity and protection from its very first moment. It is a gentle but powerful reminder that every person, no matter how small or unseen, has inherent worth. This day isn't about loud celebration, but about pausing to recognize the value of every human life, no matter how small or dependent. It's a time to stand in solidarity with those who are often voiceless, and to affirm that every life matters. Around the world, people mark this day in different ways. Some gather for candlelight vigils, others spend time in quiet prayer or reflection, and many reach out to support expectant mothers in their communities. These acts, though simple, carry profound meaning. It's a call to build a culture that supports expectant mothers and cherishes every pregnancy, offering compassion and real help. By extending kindness and practical support, we help create a world where every child is welcomed and every parent is uplifted. The day also provides space for healing, honoring children lost before birth, and acknowledging the silent grief of parents. For many, it is a time to remember, to mourn, and to find comfort in the presence of others who understand their pain. By breaking the silence around prenatal loss, it fosters empathy and community support. It reminds us that grief shared is grief lessened, and that healing is possible when we come together in understanding and care. The International Day of the Unborn Child is ultimately a call to action, a challenge to defend life with unwavering love, to speak up for the vulnerable, and to ensure that every child, regardless of circumstance, is welcomed and valued. In honoring the unborn, we affirm our shared humanity and renew our commitment to a world where every life is cherished, protected, and celebrated. The International Day of the Unborn Child has its roots in Argentina, a country that, in 1998, found itself at a crossroads of tradition, faith, and modernity. In the late 1990s, Argentina was experiencing a period of social and political transformation, with debates about human rights and the value of life taking center stage in public discourse. It was during this pivotal moment that the nation made a historic decision, one that would echo far beyond its borders. On March 7, 1998, President Carlos Menem, moved by his personal convictions and the urging of various social and religious groups, signed a decree that officially established March 25th as the Day of the Unborn Child. This date was chosen to coincide with the Feast of the Annunciation, a day celebrated by many Christians as the moment of the Incarnation, symbolizing the beginning of life. This act was more than symbolic. It was a profound national commitment, deeply rooted in Argentina's constitution, which recognizes the right to life from conception. The decree also reflected Argentina's dedication to upholding international human rights agreements, such as the American Convention on Human Rights, which affirms that life and rights begin at conception. By enshrining these principles into law, Argentina sent a powerful message about the sanctity of life and the responsibilities of society to protect its most vulnerable members. The first observance of the Day of the Unborn Child in 1999 was a momentous occasion. Leaders from across the political spectrum, religious figures, and everyday citizens gathered in Buenos Aires and cities throughout the country. Public events, peaceful demonstrations, and heartfelt speeches marked the day, as people came together to honor the dignity of every human life, regardless of circumstance. Argentina's initiative was not just about opposing abortion. It was a call to celebrate the miracle of pregnancy, to support mothers facing difficult choices, and to promote adoption as a loving alternative. The movement encouraged families, communities, and institutions to provide care, resources, and hope to those in need, fostering a culture where every child is welcomed and cherished. Recognizing the global importance of this cause, President Menem reached out to leaders around the world, inviting them to join Argentina in dedicating a day to the unborn. He envisioned a future where nations would stand together, united in their commitment to protect life from its earliest moments. Menem's outreach resonated deeply, inspiring countries across Latin America, as well as Spain, Portugal, and the Philippines, to adopt similar observances. Each nation brought its own traditions and perspectives, but all shared a common purpose: to affirm the value of life and the importance of compassion. What began as a single nation's bold step soon became a blueprint for a global movement. Argentina's conviction proved that the actions of one country, rooted in principle and compassion, can spark change across continents, reminding the world that the defense of life is a cause that knows no borders. March 25th is not just another day on the calendar. It holds a profound place in the heart of Christian tradition. This date was chosen with great intention, carrying layers of spiritual meaning that reach back through centuries of faith and devotion. It is the Feast of the Annunciation, a day that commemorates the moment when the Archangel Gabriel appeared to Mary, bringing news that would change the course of history. In Christian belief, this is the day when the Incarnation began, when God became flesh in the womb of Mary. The Annunciation marks the very instant of Jesus' conception, a sacred event that is celebrated with awe and reverence. Mary's acceptance of this divine message is seen as a turning point, not only in her life, but in the story of humanity itself. This date draws a powerful parallel. Just as the life of Jesus began at conception, so too does every human life begin at that miraculous moment. The Church's teaching on the sanctity of life finds a vivid illustration here, reminding us that every person's story starts long before birth. By aligning the day of the unborn child with the Annunciation, the observance is rooted in deep spiritual truth. It's not merely a response to social or political issues, but a celebration anchored in the mystery of faith, a recognition that life is a gift from God, worthy of honor and protection from its very beginning. The story of the Annunciation, with Mary's courageous yes to God's plan, becomes a timeless model of openness to life. Even in the face of uncertainty, Mary's trust and willingness to embrace the unknown inspire believers to value and defend life, especially when it is most vulnerable. The 9 months from the Annunciation to Christmas mirror the journey of pregnancy, offering a living catechesis, a teaching through experience, on the sanctity and wonder of every human life. This sacred timeline invites us to walk alongside Mary, contemplating the miracle of new life growing in secret. By placing this observance within the Christian year, the message of the unborn is woven into the very fabric of faith. It becomes a season for reflection, prayer, and renewed reverence for the mystery of life, inviting all believers to pause and consider the dignity of every person, born and unborn. Ultimately, this day calls communities everywhere to open their hearts, to welcome and support every child, and to echo the love and care shown to the Christ child. It is a reminder that each life is precious, and that our response to the most vulnerable among us is a reflection of our deepest values and faith. Pope St. John Paul II's endorsement gave the Day of the Unborn Child global moral authority. He saw the observance as a vital step in building a culture of life, echoing his teachings in Evangelium Vitae. The Pope's support transformed Argentina's initiative into a universal cause, urging Catholics worldwide to embrace and promote the day. His blessing ensured the day was rooted in compassion, hope, and the affirmation of every human life's value. The observance became a practical response to his call for a global campaign in defense of life. Pope John Paul II's vision made the day a beacon for education, prayer, and tangible support for mothers and children everywhere. Argentina's act quickly inspired a global movement, especially across Latin America. Countries like Guatemala, Chile, Costa Rica, and the Dominican Republic soon established their own days of the unborn child. The observance spread to Europe, with Spain, Austria, and Slovakia joining, and to the Philippines in Asia. Even where not officially recognized, grassroots groups and churches mark the day with prayer and advocacy. Today, over a dozen countries honor the unborn on March 25th, united by a shared commitment to protect the most vulnerable. This worldwide chorus celebrates life and calls for every unborn child to be recognized and cherished. The International Day of the Unborn Child is marked by diverse acts of faith, solidarity, and service. Churches hold special masses, prayer vigils, and candlelight ceremonies, anchoring the day in spiritual reflection. Public marches and rallies bring together families, students, and advocates, celebrating life with hope and unity. Educational events and social media campaigns spread awareness about fetal development and the realities of abortion. Most importantly, the day mobilizes support for pregnant women, fundraising for crisis centers, providing counseling, and offering material aid. These actions show that the pro-life commitment extends to both mother and child, making life a supported choice. The day's observance is a living testament to compassion and practical care. The International Day of the Unborn Child is more than a date. It's a call to lasting respect for life's earliest stage. It insists on the humanity of the unborn, challenging society to protect its most defenseless members. The day champions support for mothers, promoting a culture where no woman feels alone or pressured into abortion. It sparks ethical reflection, urging us to consider when life and rights truly begin. The observance fosters dialogue, moving beyond slogans to thoughtful engagement with life's deepest questions. Above all, it's a beacon of hope, proclaiming that every life has immeasurable worth and that love and justice can prevail. Each year it renews our commitment to a world where every child is welcomed and protected. Advances in science have made the humanity of the unborn undeniable. Modern ultrasounds reveal babies moving, yawning, and even smiling in the womb, forging a powerful bond between parents and child. Photology now allows doctors to perform life-saving surgeries before birth, treating the unborn as patients deserving care. Genetics confirms that from conception, a unique human life begins, with its own DNA and potential. These scientific realities strengthen the case for protecting the unborn, moving the conversation beyond faith alone. The Day of the Unborn Child is grounded in both compassion and empirical evidence. Science and ethics together illuminate the urgent need to defend life from its very start. Looking ahead, the International Day of the Unborn Child will only grow in significance as societies face new ethical challenges. The day invites ongoing respectful dialogue about life, rights, and responsibility. Its future lies in a holistic approach, supporting families, advocating for better care, and building communities where life is truly valued. Personal stories of courage, adoption, and loss will continue to humanize the cause and inspire empathy. The day's enduring legacy is hope, that as we see and heal unborn children, we'll also protect them. Each March 25th renews our resolve to build a culture where every child is cherished from conception. The gentle, persistent witness of millions will, over time, create a world where every life is welcomed and protected.